Hello everyone, hope we're all well today. So this is the second in the series of Reddit exploration, and today we'll be looking at the subreddit DebateFascism. I've been a personal long-time subscriber to this subreddit. Obviously goes without saying, but I'm not a fascist myself. However, I'm fascinated by the ideology itself. So this is quite an interesting subreddit. You sort of can see how fascists sort of think of themselves, as well as other political ideologies that are present on the subreddit. You have these flares sort of mark different people's beliefs. So we do have a national socialist here, but we also have a classical libertarian here. We also find monarchists, pre-Enlightenment monarchists, very slightly different. We also have clerical fascists, technocrats, freedom, family, guns. I'll leave that up to your imagination which party that sort of fits into. But yeah, we have a wide range of beliefs here. So let's jump back in like we normally do. And let's first of all, let's look at the numbers here. Then the summary. So we have about 10,500 members here, roughly. Or as they call themselves, dedicated debaters. Which give them credit where credit's due. They do debate on this subreddit, and they debate with I'll leave that to your opinion when we see their discussions. But anyway, moving on promptly, we have the summary for this subreddit. So it's Debate Fascism is a community designed for the deliberation of fascism, notably the theories that lie behind it. Debate amongst fascists is welcome, and critiques of fascism, as well as those just curious, are encouraged to ask questions. All views are welcome, but please avoid insults and other forms of debate that do not address the issue, but rely on personal attacks. Repeat offences may result in bans. Please make off-topic posts in the casual thread. Okay, so normal sort of moderation rules here. Personal attacks are out of the table. Quite an odd one for fascists to say that, I think. Sort of the ideology is somewhat built on personal attacks, but let's move along. So first of all, let's have a look at the top rated posts. Probably the best place to start with new fascists, new subreddit, I think. So let's have a look. So one of the top posts here is on this top one we do have a veteran of the Spanish Civil War, captain of the Spanish FFA-AA, military historian and author, AMA. So we've got a fairly rambunctious guy here. We'll come back to this, I think. But first of all, let's look at this. So our National Socialism has been banned. This is fairly common on Reddit at the minute. We have we do have quite a lot of predominantly right-wing subreddits being banned at the minute. Again, whether you think that's correct or not is completely up to you. I personally feel everyone should have a space for discussion, no matter their political ideology. So I think deplatforming people sort of gives them more legitimacy in some way. But again, if you disagree, please leave a comment. I'd love to discuss it with you. So anyway, let's look at this thread really quick. So full title: Our National Socialism has been banned. Communist stubs are still up. They claim we encourage violence, which anyone who visits us know isn't true. So let's click on the thread here. Let's have a read. So yeah, full communist. Okay, so we sort of in this first sentence we sort of got quite a I have to laugh because let's read it together. If this was true, there wouldn't have had to wait 5 years to ban the subreddit. Typical gross Jewish deleting anything nationalist or right wing. Okay, so we've got in the top place immediately we've got in the first second sentence even we have a sort of a stereotype and to a degree race hatred straight away. I have to say, you clicking on the video, you probably did expect this kind of thing. So again, here we have we know what Reddit is about. They are a vanguard of internet censorship. Ironic, considering he's now talking in a thread not being censored, but we'll leave them to their delusions. The Jew is losing control of the scripted narrative. Again, this is very, very old beliefs, very old ideologies coming into play again. I mean, what else can you expect? Okay, so we've got a communist here. This will be interesting. So let's have a look. A quick thank you. Hey, it's a commie who sticks around. I just wanted to say thanks for the actual good discussions I've had here. The more I look at other subs like this, namely our capitalism versus socialism, perhaps we'll do another video of that at some point, the more disheartened I am by seeing just how smug and nasty they can be. Almost nothing of value seems to ever be produced. I personally do have to agree with the guy on this. There's a lot of unintellectual discussion that goes on subreddits. Late stage capitalism is a personal offender to me. There's some good points on there, don't get me wrong, but there's some quite flawed beliefs and ideologies in there. Also, socialism is one that's does tend to be bad, as well as some of the libertarian ones are pretty interesting. Some of the content produced on there can be quite dishonest and manipulative. I'm tempted to say it's very simplistic as well. Doesn't seem to be much of an intelligent discussion going on. But again, that's my own personal opinion coming into it. But there you go. Again, here we have the Golden Dawn. Interesting. This is a political party, I believe, based in Greece. I think I could be wrong on that, but sort of far right nationalist party. Sort of anti-Euro, Eurosceptic sort of beliefs that go on in that party. Again, yeah, not unexpected for this kind of subreddit. Anyway, so this comment, sort of Star of the North says, left-wing subs are ban happy. Left-wing subs being band happy is so true. Look at our full communism. Again, this is quite the ban happy type of subreddit. They do regularly ban people for not even any sort of trolling or any sort of abuse of their members. They do just tend to ban people who disagree with them. There are a few examples there. I'd be more than happy to share, but yeah, this comment is correct in what it says. Ban me for being in the reactionary subreddit are libertarians. So again, I mean, it is possible to have a wide range of political subreddits. In fact, I am subscribed to a wide range of political subreddits, and it is a shame that they ban people based on association. Even I mean, a person who has Golden Dawn as their flag here, they won't exactly be libertarians. So it's a interesting sort of thing to do. But anyway, moving promptly on again. I'm just glad there's a place where people can debate without anyone hurling insults or accusations at each other. This is true, actually. I using this subreddit for a while, and it's very useful in understanding what fascists believe. For me personally as well, I'm doing a kind of at university doing a dissertation on not on fascism per se, but on the alt-right, and this has been enormously helpful for me in sort of getting in the mind of people who do believe this thing. I'm trying to find a. I should have got it out before I started the video, but there's a really interesting thing on here which sort of it makes me laugh every time I read it, and it's about how a fascist should dress, and it's sort of like quite an edgy sort of thing where people say, "Oh, I always dress up in black and grey and sort of traditional fascist uniforms." It's sort of people LARPing at their political ideologies, which I find quite interesting. But yeah, here's a good one. This tends to be my main critique for fascism. Is I dislike the totalitarian nature of it. So let's look in this thread. This is interesting to me. It might not be to you. Again, we've got an anarchist here, so this guy would be this guy here, Rights Inquirer, would be completely against the idea of the state, and thus against fascism, which sort of relies on the state as a mainstay in its beliefs. So let's read what he says. We want to talk a lot about various racist and nationalistic views you guys hold, but rarely do we discuss why you guys want to live in a country where the state is all-powerful and virtually unrestrained. Why do you want that? Doesn't it ever worry you that one of you people who becomes a victim of that state will be you? Like a dead SA member after the Night of Long Knives. Do you see any parallel between a fascist state and North Korea or the Stalinist Soviet Union? So here we are. Oh, deleted account here. Always interesting. I think again, like I say, this subreddit's quite clever because it has what people's beliefs are here, but we obviously don't have it for this guy. He's either had his account deleted or he's been cowardly and deleted his account. So here we go. What he says about totalitarianism is a nonsense term used by horseshoe theorists and proudly bourgeois proletarians in modern society. Indeed, any society. Everyone, everywhere, already lives in a totalitarian. Dreadful with these words, these fascist use stumble up on my mouth. Apologies for that. A totality, nobody does anything just because. Individual interests don't exist independent of their social contexts. The socialist state won't oppress your personality any more than a free market does. It's just a different myth or foundation of our social existence. It just so happens that liberal capitalist myth of market relies on pretending it doesn't, making itself seem necessary, because that's the only defense capital has against socialism. To put it any other way, no, I don't want to live under a totalitarian state. Even that single preposition shows how infected we've become with the capitalist ideology. I want to live with, by, and for a totalitarian state. Just looking at the second comment here, Nazbols are fucking rad. This guy will be a national socialist. That's sort of the Nazbol meme is sort of similar to the Poland ball, but instead of the Polish flag, it would be a Nazi swastika, red and black and white. So, again, this guy, I thought they were just memes. Unfortunately, they're not. So this guy would have been a actual Nazi, like a National Socialist Nazi, not a what someone might call a Nazi when they don't subscribe to the National Socialist beliefs. So, yeah, we can sort of see that in his analysis of capital and socialism here. He probably would have been deciphering it from that. So his argument here is you wouldn't be living under the state, you'd be living for and with the state, which I don't know. I'll leave that to your own thought process there. But I think from my reading, you can probably tell what my thoughts are on it. But let's move on to another one for now. Let's look at some of the newer posts before we finish up today. Always good to see what the new posts are, sort of more current. The top post can be from many years ago or even up to a decade ago now, I suppose, with the Reddit being, must be getting on 10 years, maybe even 11 years now, I'm not completely sure. So let's have a quick scroll right down here, let's have a look. Here's an interesting one. It's got 25 comments, no upvotes, could be an interesting one. I think gay marriage / sex should be encouraged. I believe traditions are basically worthless. Could I still be a fascist? So we'll play interestingly into the debate that we have about traditionalism in fascism, whether it's a core part of it. So let's have a look into this thread real quick. Also quite a long here, but so he's an agnostic atheist. Of course, quite the diatribe here. So let's unpack it slightly before we finish up today. Prostitution should be legalized nationwide and regulated to prevent STDs. Okay, pornography and kinky sex, should be completely accepted by society. Guns should be legal but heavily restricted. That, immediately to me, he sounds more like a libertarian at this point. But let's continue on. Oh, perhaps not after this sentence. A country should have a high military budget. Again, sort of definitely not a libertarian at all. They're very anti-high military budgets, although incredibly pro-gun. They just don't want the gun in the hands of the government, it seems. Anyway, distraction there, but let's move on. A country should have a high military budget and be imperialistic because a good defence is a good offence. Questionable. If you don't have a strong military, make friends with someone who does. The masses need to be guided and manipulated. The goal would be the highest amount of tax revenue. Definitely not a libertarian. Completely wrong on my analysis on the top bit there. Anything highlighted in blue now doesn't seem to be a libertarian argument. So let's leave it. Oh, here, let's quickly focus on this abortion here. Abortion should be completely illegal. Definitely not a libertarian. I couldn't be more wrong in my analysis so far. So let's scroll down. Ethnocentric collectivist. That's a mouthful of an ideology. So this guy or girl says, I sort of use guy as a gender neutral pronoun. Just so you know, guy just seems easier. You're not a fascist. You're an edgy liberal conservative. So like Milo Yiannopoulos would be more suitable for your temperament. Not any fascist. And then we've got 5 dead pandas, the traditionalist here, saying, you ripped him a new arsehole, Lamo. Daft debate sounds pretty kinky. I thought fascists were against gay sex. That's quite a good bit back and forth there. Well, if you're into the political back and forth, I suppose it is. So yeah, again, this thread wasn't actually as good as I thought it might have been. This guy's answer, this guy a corporatist. This is an interesting ideology. I want to do a video on this at some point, but yeah. So this guy says he seems to have broken a few rules. I've seen people telling him to use the sidebar quite a lot here. We didn't examine the rules properly, actually. Oh well, it doesn't matter. We'll move on. So his first point on prostitution. Why should prostitution be legalised? Is it harmful to the age of family and marriage? No. Absolute degeneracy. Love that argument. Really vague. Everyone who has used that talking to me in real life it's been a very, I don't know. They've been what they would consider to be degenerate is very, very strange. Compared to what I would consider to be degenerate. I think it's a very subjective term. Maybe it shouldn't be a term we use at all. Just let people get on with what they want to get on with, I say. But there we go. You're an edgy incel retard who likely drones on about Milo and ironically has a Kekistani. And unironically has a Kekistani flag. Baseline, you're a neocon who and can never be fascist at this point. Well, I think that seemed to get a bit derailed, that thread there. But let's have a quick look at the sidebar today to finish on. So we have moderation and rules, no personal attacks, no quality and repetitive posts. Videos and pictures and non-questions should be directed in the casual thread. Above all, main good quality discussion. Maybe that means don't call people incel retards. Just a point there. No ad hominem arguments. It's a classic ones. Do not cheer or call for the death of anyone based on their race, religion, sex, or political persuasion. Okay. Admirable for. Well, I guess this isn't a fascist subreddit necessarily. It's a subreddit for debating fascism. I mean, fascism has and still does in some cases advocate for the death of people based on their race or political persuasion. But that's by the by, really. We're disconnecting ourselves from all Discord servers until further notice. Yeah, I wouldn't really like to. I feel like a one-on-one behind the keyboard text, these people would be quite interesting to talk to, but perhaps not over a Discord server. do not use memes while commenting, i.e. video, piece of text, etc. Yeah, I can understand that. And if you want to promote yourself as a serious board, you don't really want the low quality memes in there. As funny as they may be, and you could make some very good ones out of this subreddit. I can understand all these rules. They seem like fair enough rules. It sort of just promotes the idea of fair enough discussion. Also, let's have a quick look at the related subreddit. It's always handy when looking at a subreddit to understand what they're all about. So we've got R Fascist, obvious link. What's my ideology? Interesting link, might help these people decide what beliefs they hold. We've got a National Socialist, National Conservative, neo-reactionary, all sorts of different flares here. That's interesting. Bit of a texture glitch there, quite interesting. So we've got NatSoc, National Socialism, Nazi Germany, European New Right, R Mussolini, debate anarchism, political discussion, debate transhumanism. That's an interesting one. I'll definitely do one on that in the future. But yeah, so that was a quick look at debate fascism. A very interesting subreddit. You can come and debate with 99 other dedicated debaters. Bit of a mouthful there, but yeah, no, hopefully you enjoyed that. And this is the Unenlightened University signing off. Hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.